The following program contains language, images, and/or subject matter that may be objectionable to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Direct from Albany, New York, it's time for the New Media Zone. With your hosts, Ed and Dave. Tonight, a look at this week's new film and DVD releases. And a chance to win free movie tickets with the poster pair game. And now your hosts, Ed and Dave.
Hello and welcome to the New Media Zone. Ed and Dave here. Ed and Dave with you.
Is that your scary voice?
That's my scary Halloween voice.
Ooh.
This show is airing on Halloween, Dave.
Oh, the orange looks out of place. I should have wore the black shirt. Oh well.
I thought you wore this shirt for the Halloween show. That's what I thought, and then you brought another shirt
No.
for the other ones.
I brought the House of Frankenstein shirt for this show, and then this is just a shirt. Although I don't know if it's orange so much as it's salmon. A nice Atlantic freshwater salmon.
It's coming across as orange on that screen.
Okay.
Most of them there.
All right.
That one, it's salmon over here.
All right. Yeah.
So we have our Halloween show, always fun. The week before this, I showed our best of Halloween show where there were clips when we were Invisible Men.
That's a good one.
And what else were we? We were the Droogs from Clockwork Orange. We were Skeletons.
Yeah, I like that one too. Mostly because I like playing with the strings,
Yes.
and my hand kept getting stuck.
Where's your drink? Do you need a drink for the show?
I have it down here, Ed.
Oh, yeah.
I'm keeping it off camera because I don't want to do improper product placement.
I don't think you should drink Sprite on the show. I think
Well, now you just gave away the product.
Well, tonight we decided for the Halloween show, we are going to take a look at our favorite horror film from each decade.
Well,
That's
I'm not going to say favorite so much as films that I liked that I feel people should see.
okay.
That they may not be films that... And there's going to be quite a few that are my favorites and that people have seen.
Uh-huh.
But I think there might be a few in there that maybe people haven't seen. And I think maybe you should check out with a certain amount of beverages, just in case you feel you need to.
Remember on one show you said you could get through this show with this movie with some beverages. That shouldn't be a requirement of watching a movie, whichever one it was.
Some are. All I gotta say is, it's starting on Hallmark. Christmas!
Well, I put one of those just for you on our regular show.
Ooh.
Big collection of 6 Hallmark Countdown to Christmas movies.
Ooh.
Are those different from the regular ones? The Countdown to Christmas?
They're all the same. It's all Christmas. Same crap.
Okay, let's start with what do we call these? The 1910s?
Oh, I see. I didn't start that early.
You didn't start that. Well, the only one you can put there really is the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Wrong!
No? What else was in the 2010 or 1910?
Nothing. Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, released in 1920.
Oh!
Filmed in late 1919, but
What?
released in 1920.
Oh, why was it on my
I don't know.
19 list?
I think it's
I have a
it's
faulty
often
list.
it's often listed as 1919, but it is based on my research released in the 1920s. So I'm putting it in 1920. You could put it in 1919, the teens, just so that you have something for that decade. So I'll go with that. I'm okay with that.
I'm considering it a 19 because I have other ones for 20.
That works. With the weird German expressionism and
Yes.
angles and all that. But a good creepy film.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. I like The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. That's on my list as well.
Now, the 1920s, we start to get some more German films and some of the early Universal monster movies. I put down a couple here. Do I go with Nosferatu?
No, you don't.
I don't go with that one. That was the similar German expressionist
Yes.
films, but I went with, well, you got to go with a classic Universal.
We agree.
The Phantom of the Opera. You took a peek at my list earlier.
I did. And
apparently, we have a lot of the
I'm
same.
shocked that we have, because usually we don't have anything the same.
Classic horror films. They're very similar. Though.
Lon Chaney, who also did Hunchback of Notre Dame during that same decade.
Yes, that's the other one you could have gone with.
Yep.
There weren't too many other... Were there horror films?
I don't know. I wasn't born.
No. That, of course, 1925 here.
Although, I will say, for the 1910s, I could blanket list horror films. Any Charlie Chaplin film, to me, is just horror. Because I'm not a Chaplin fan.
I'm not Regan. I'm the devil.
I prefer Buster Keaton.
Know what I just forgot is
I say that when I get up in the morning and pee. It burns. It burns.
It would have been a nice time we didn't mention it, but maybe that's good. We didn't mention we have a Regan behind us
Right.
from The Exorcist, and she's quite lively back there.
I'm sure most people are tuning in just for that.
This is, as you know, the 50th anniversary of The Exorcist.
Wow.
So you
Well, I was
said,
just saying, I prefer, Harold Lloyd.
Yes, I like Harold Lloyd.
Buster Keaton. Chaplin, to me, he had his moments, but overrated.
When he was dancing with biscuits, I think that was his highlight. Was that his best part?
I don't know. It's kind of like Jerry Lewis doing the doing his movement, having a board meeting to the music. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, Phantom of the Opera 25, very near 100 years old, Dave.
Yes.
Now the 30s, we've got a lot in the 30s.
Oh, we got a lot to choose from. There was a lot, but I narrowed it down to 2.
Okay. Yeah, I would have gone with King Kong or The Bride of Frankenstein. Ooh. Of course, you also have Dracula and Frankenstein in there, the classic originals.
Yes. I went with Kong.
You went with Kong. Okay.
And Frankenstein. And I used Frankenstein loosely to encompass the 3 of them. Son of Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, and Frankenstein. I did like all of them. For all different reasons. But I used Frankenstein as kind of the blanket for that franchise in the 30s. Because it was, 31, 35, and 39.
Was Son 39?
Thought Son was 39.
Okay.
With Basil Rathbone.
Mm-hmm.
What a name. Sherlock Holmes. So I went with that for that particular reason. Plus, it's Karloff.
So what is your choice?
Frankenstein,
You
King Kong.
You have 2 choices, and yet one encompasses 3 films.
Right.
So thereby your one is now 4 films.
Right.
Okay.
It's not like saying, my favorites of most recent movies, I'm going to say the Purge and cover how many purges are there?
6.
All right. I wouldn't cover 6 purges because I would say maybe one of them is good. But in this instance, all 3 of those Frankenstein movies are good for different reasons. Mm-hmm. So that's why I went with the whole thing. Now, I know you're a stickler for your favorites. Your favorite is one favorite. I don't live life that way. Okay? I could have more than one Linda that I like.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just saying. So I reject your premise, and I go with my own.
If you had to pick a Frankenstein from the 3, which one would you pick? You have to go with Bride, right?
No, I don't.
No? Would you go with the original?
I might go with Son.
You might go. Oh, wow.
Was that the speaking one?
I don't think he said too much there.
Which one did you talk in? Was it
Bride? Yes.
Yeah, I'm not I go back and forth on these because there are the purists who say Frankenstein should not speak. And when he spoke, it ruined it. And then he went back to not speaking because he didn't speak in the first one, spoke in The Bride, didn't speak in Son. So the purists say he shouldn't speak. So they went back to not speaking. Although, why would he speak? Why? He put the creature together using body parts. He didn't say, I want all body parts except vocal cords. It's part of it. He should speak. So I have mixed emotions on that. But I did like Son of Frankenstein. I think I like the outfit he wore.
with
The big, like, fur thing I thought was kind of cool.
that wasn't my favorite for a long time, but Bela Lugosi is good in that too.
Mm-hmm.
I've come to appreciate that one.
And that's about the only thing he was good in. I didn't like him in Dracula.
I like Dracula more now. I appreciate it. It's very slow and creaky, but I think with the Blu-ray upgrades, it's a little better.
I don't drink. Why?
I was watching The Black Sleep the other night. Was on something. I think it must have been one of his last roles, and they removed his vocal cords as an experiment. I don't think he could talk at this time. I think he was on the way out. It's kind of sad, though.
He died during making of what? Plan 9 from Outer Space?
Yes, yep. This was next to last, probably. Now we go to the 40s, a little tougher.
Okay.
Not quite as many horror films, but we have The Wolfman in there.
That was my choice.
And we have Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. No. See, I was going to go with The Wolfman, but like you, The Wolfman is in Abbott and Costello.
Yeah.
Plus, the other time that Bela Lugosi played Dracula is in this movie. And plus, I like the Glenn Strange Frankenstein look. Not that he did all that much in any of these later movies, but I do like the look after Boris Karloff.
I would say Bela Lugosi was better as Dracula in this film than he was in Dracula.
Yes.
I would not go with this film because I just watched it.
Yeah.
I was on Amazon
on Prime.
And it popped up, and I'm like, well, I'm on my tablet messing around. I said, I'll just throw this on in the background, turn it off for 20 minutes. Watch the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that I'm not a big Abbott and Costello fan. I like Abbott better, actually. But they had some good moments in it. I actually did chuckle a few times. But it's not. I don't think it's a horror film, Ed.
No, but I give it to the Edge for the reasons.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You got the classic bit with I think the candles sliding on the coffin.
Yeah.
And then occasionally, which I don't often like, but it works here, he looks into the camera when he pulls the sheet out and everything stays on the table. He gives a quick look to the camera. Kind of funny. And plus you have Vincent Price at the end as the
Invisible Man.
Invisible Man. So I give it an edge. I would have put the Wolfman, but on second thought, I put this one.
Now, I can't argue necessarily. The Wolfman is actually not a great film. It's okay. I like the concept. I like the story. This is the first time this story came out. What is bad about it is you should have picked a good actor.
Oh no.
Because he's in the Abbott and Costello.
Yes.
He's just a horrible actor. I don't know what it is. I just cannot watch his whining. He's just terrible. That's all he does is when the moon is full, I'll change. He's just terrible. His best acting job was in an episode of The Monkees.
Oh no. Oh god.
As an elderly, overweight slob. That's to me the best Lon Chaney Jr., or as I prefer to call him, Creighton.
That was his actual name.
But anyway, I kind of like the Wolfman and the offshoots, as we'll move on and find out later on.
Let's see. Go to the 50s. There was a lot of interesting things in the 50s. All the atomic monsters. Godzilla was in there. The Fly, the original Fly.
That was good.
House on Haunted Hill with Vincent Price. We got The Creature from the Black Lagoon. And we got The House of Wax. Did you have any others you were looking at?
I like Them.
The Ants, you always love that. And what are they shooting at?
The antennae! Shoot the antennae! A Thing.
Yeah.
And I like The Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Mm-hmm. So what did you go with in the 50s?
Those three.
You pick three again? Yeah. We're gonna go. I didn't know we could pick more than one.
Again,
so I'm gonna.
I don't have none of these films. Do I absolutely love and say these are just my favorite? These are three good films that I think are the best representation of that genre during that decade for different reasons. The Thing, an alien, Them, the giant ants. Which really the highlight for me is James Whitmore at the end screaming like a 5-year-old girl.
Oh no!
You gotta see it just for that. And Creature from the Black Lagoon with mostly because of the trumpet. Yep. So not the second one, not the follow-up.
Yeah.
That one was not good, but that was good. That's what I'm going with. I told you I do not adhere to your demand. I must list one film.
Well, I'm going to change due to what you're doing here. I had picked The House of Wax because that's a great movie. A lot of things in there, but I'm going to add 2 more since this is allowed now.
Oh.
This was what I had. The Fly is really good, and The Creature from the Black Lagoon. So I'm going to pick those 3.
I'm going with, and I'm going to add Conga.
Okay. I wouldn't add that one, but there's some fun moments in there.
Have 3 drinks.
This is another one where you need drinks.
I'm not saying have a beer.
You're not alone to die. Keep awake. The sow is mine.
Oh my Lord.
But I am saying have 3 shots of something strong before you watch Conga. Then it becomes enjoyable.
Yeah.
All right.
60s. We got some interesting things.
I think we agree on 60s.
Oh, we have The Birds.
I had that.
Hitchcock. We have Rosemary's Baby, which I only really watched lately.
That's okay.
And there's some. I dismissed that one for a long time, but I put it up there now.
Okay.
I believe Dr. Zaius is in that, isn't he?
Oh, I don't know.
I think he's in there. And Night of the Living Dead. One of the first really zombie movies where they're eating things, and there was a new zombie behind.
Oh, that's what you like.
Shown. And, of course, Psycho from 1960.
That's the other one. That's the one I had.
So that's the one I have to go with. Really no runners-up. You just have to go with Psycho.
I had Psycho and The Birds.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all I had.
I think I saw a list where they had Psycho as #1 of the horror films of all time.
That's tough. I don't know if I necessarily consider it like a classic horror film. More of a, I don't know, what would you say, suspense thriller kind of thing. To me, a horror film is, I don't know, Frankenstein.
Okay, the 70s, I gotta say, is the best decade for horror films.
Oh. Yes.
And luckily, we grew up right in the prime time, in our teen years and early teens.
This, to me, is for me, this decade is the decade of Price. Vincent Price.
Vincent Price, yes.
Theater of Blood.
Yeah.
The Abominable Dr. Phibes. Oh, that's great. Wasn't there another Phibes movie?
Dr. Phibes Rises Again.
That's it. That's all you need to know. But Theater of Blood is really I mean, the acting, yeah.
There's a lot of classic British actors in there.
But they weren't that great.
They weren't great.
Nah, I mean, come on.
If I could think of any,
it's not Alec Guinness or Laurence Olivier. It's, some, whatever. The acting is...
Was Diana Regan that, or that was the Dr. Phibes?
I think that was Dr.
I think in Rising, okay.
But the acting, okay. The police, but a good story, creative deaths and murders, great, really good. Abominable Dr. Phibes, fantastic. That's what I'm going with.
That's what you're going with?
I had Alien and Jaws thrown in there.
Yeah.
But I would still go with Vincent Price. I mean, obviously the change from early 70s to late 70s, the acting, the special effects were just so much better, which is why Alien is on there, and Jaws is just a classic. But these are films, I'm going with films I think people should see that they may not have seen. Everyone has seen Jaws and Alien.
Oh, yeah.
Theater of Blood, Dr. Phibes. Check it out, I'm telling you. You won't be disappointed.
Also, we didn't mention in the 60s mainly the Hammer films.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of classic Hammer films. That might be my runners up there. Curse of the Werewolf and Brides of Dracula. Also in the 70s, Carrie. Dr. Phibes, I did have It's Alive, the Killer Baby movie. It's a very low budget but entertaining film, along with Phantasm, that was 79. Another odd film. And The Exorcist. I was going between Jaws and The Exorcist. Jaws is considered a horror film. They were debating that. I think I have to go with The Exorcist, though. Wouldn't you
Your
agree?
mother's in here with us, Gareth. Would you like to leave a message? I'll see that she gets it.
No.
You wouldn't? I just watched it again, and you know some of the language is a little rough, and you remember certain phrases, but there was,
yes, I do.
There was some in there, I go, oh my God, that's rough, and I don't remember that one. And then the things she was doing in there, still pretty shocking today.
I traumatized Linda Blair for life.
Let's go to the 80s. We're moving into that 80s, and some things that have marred some of the films is the soundtracks with that electronic synth stuff, but some of them don't have Aliens.
It was
That's a good
okay.
score. Okay.
I didn't care for it that much.
The Fly remake.
That was good-ish.
Good-ish.
Yeah.
American Werewolf in London.
I like that. That was one that I was considering.
Reanimator.
That's the one that I
You're going
really
with?
like. Yes.
Yeah, there's the scene in there, of course. It was so outrageous. Kind of like the Exorcist scene, but even more over the top than that, with the head and and then Hellraiser.
Yeah, Hellraiser was good.
And The Shining. I was almost going with The Shining, because anytime that's on, I watch it, but I think it's mainly because of Jack Nicholson, more than anything that's going on in there.
Yeah. I like Creepshow.
Yes, that's good in there. I think I have to go with Hellraiser for it was so different and strange and a good horror character, which you don't have a lot of.
Yep. I'm going with Reanimator.
Oh, the other thing, Freddy was in there, Nightmare on Elm Street.
I never really cared for those. Michael Myers, Freddy, Jason. They were okay, but they weren't. I mean, they spawned, I think, didn't they start like this horrific franchises that we now have, that we suffer through with Fast and Furious 106? It's
Yeah,
crazy.
Halloween in the 70s, too. That was probably iffy. I didn't write it down with Exorcist. I might have gone with that one. It was a great film, though, Halloween. And 80s, okay, Hellraiser, 90s. Now it starts going down the crapper.
I don't even think I have anything.
You don't have anything.
I might have Silence of the Lambs.
Okay,
That's probably about it. I don't know what else is even out.
that's what I picked, Silence of the Lambs.
What about, when was The Predator? When was that?
That was 87.
Okay.
In the 90s, we had Scream, which was good. It was kind of a spoof of horror movies, though, but it was pretty bloody. The first one was entertaining. Then they got, I don't know what we're up to now. And Tremors was 1990. That was pretty good.
Tremors was good, yeah.
Throwback to the old 50s movies.
Yeah, Tremors was good.
And 2000s gets even harder. Here, did you come up with anything?
Nothing. I gave up.
Let me give you these three.
Yeah, let me see what you got. Maybe I'll agree with something.
Trick or Treat. This is a big one with a little character who's big. I don't know. I had it on for a few minutes last night. I watched it once. It didn't really thrill me.
But it thrills you now?
No.
Oh, then why is it on your list?
I just to talk about.
You couldn't find anything.
I couldn't find it. Now I went back and forth with these two. Saw.
The original was, yeah, I was entertaining. I did like that. Okay.
And I think I have to go with The Grudge as my favorite from the 2000s.
Was that Sarah Michelle Gellar?
Yes.
Okay, I did see that.
And the creepy woman with the hair.
Yeah,
There was two creepy women with hair. The Ring, but there was one in The Grudge. And then the little boy with the weird voice.
I vaguely remember.
That
it.
voice is what puts this over the edge of Saw. And really bad now, the 2010s.
Oh, go ahead.
Did you see anything in there?
I doubt it, but go ahead.
Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Never heard of it.
Mainly because there was some interesting real creatures, not CGI. There was a weird woman with an odd face and a couple of creatures. It was.
Is it like that old movie Freaks?
It looked like one of those.
Was that a Todd Browning film?
Yeah.
Freaks from like 1932, 33?
Yeah, that's another one you could put in your 30s list.
Yeah.
And 2010's The Conjuring. The original one was pretty good.
What about Blair Witch? Where would that go?
That was 99.
Okay.
Yeah, that was something different, but it doesn't really hold up today, does it?
It doesn't, only because there's been a plethora of found footage.
Yeah, that started that horrible trend.
Yeah.
2020s?
I think the new Hellraiser.
Yes.
Very good. And is it Prey?
Prey.
That was very good as well.
Those were 2 movies on Hulu I have to watch before our subscription runs out.
Oh.
A free trial
You
here.
need to watch it. The new Hellraiser was surprisingly good. Is a female Pinhead.
Yeah.
A Pinheadette. But
There was
it
a bad one before that I haven't seen.
There's several bad ones before that. I think they made 6 or 7 or maybe even more Hellraisers, and all straight to video after like the 3rd one. But this one is good. It's very good. And Prey was excellent.
Terrifier 2 in the 2020s. Very bloody, but 2 hours and 15 minutes. That was a little long.
Yeah. The first one was good.
There was a scene in there where he's attacking a girl on the bed and cutting her open for, I swear, 10 minutes. And they cut away to something else and they cut back, and he's still taking arms and legs off. It was just way over the top, but real effects through most of it, as far as I could tell. And X was another film. It was a bunch of kids in the 70s making a porno movie, and there's a killer on the loose.
I will mention also in the 30s, I believe it's 1932, The Mummy.
Yeah.
With Boris Karloff. Not your classic, wrapped up in toilet paper mummy, but a good mummy. Not up to par with Frankenstein, though. The franchise. War of the Gargantuas. Oh, that's a good one,
That's
too.
the 60s in the Godzilla area.
Oh, I did like the War of the Gargantuas. A good one and a bad one. A red one and a green one.
Mm-hmm. We'll put that in our Channel 10 Saturday afternoon.
And of course,
staple.
Reptilicus.
That's the other one Channel 10 would show all the time. Well, we're coming to the end of our Halloween show, Dave. I don't think we have time to test the mystery Fanta bottle.
Oh.
But if you want to, we can do that on one of our regular shows. We want to say have a happy Halloween out there. Don't cause a lot of damage. Hopefully we get nice weather.
I hope that you have a safe Halloween. Don't be doing crazy stuff. That's all I'm asking. Because I don't know if you've noticed, the world's nuts. People are bombing people.
Yeah.
This is insane. AI is taking over the world. We're going down the rabbit hole, folks. Don't have kids because they're not going to survive.
Oh, happy thought to end the show. Now, if you come to my house this year, right now I have a Frankenstein door cover.
Yes.
But on Halloween, there's going to be an Exorcist door cover.
Ooh.
And when kids come to the door, they're going to see this.
Uh-huh.
And depending on how old they are, this will go off. If they're little tiny kids, I don't think I can. Might be too graphic for young kids, but you'll be seeing that and getting a nice treat in my house.
Oh,
Do you turn the lights off, or do you get trick or treat?
No, I just don't answer the door.
You know, turn the light out.
I'm upstairs watching a hockey game. I'm not dealing with the one clown I'll get during the day.
All right, why don't we go out with a classic Halloween song, Dave? We're not going to sing it. These guys are going to sing it here.
From my laboratory in the Castle East.
Happy Halloween, everybody!
Where the vampires feast. The ghouls all came from their humble abodes to get a jolt from my electrodes. They did the monster mash.